What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video we're going to be playing some Path of Legends on ladder using the best mortar deck in the game currently. So as you guys can see, the deck doesn't have Monk in it, so I guess that's good for you guys who don't have the Monk maxed and want to use a really solid mortar deck on ladder. It does have the Phoenix in it though, as you guys can see. I think it fits very nicely in the deck. If you don't have the Phoenix leveled up though, the best replacement for this would either be the Archer Queen or the Musketeer. Definitely the Archer Queen would be preferable, but Musketeer is still very nice to have inside a mortar, but I think Phoenix of all of them is the best option just because of how strong it is right now inside of the game. The Valkyrie is a very good support card as well, getting a lot of value on defense. Splash damage is very helpful to have, and the Ice Spirit is the best spirit to have in mortar now. Ever since the Ice Spirit got that longer freeze duration, it has been so valuable, freezing win conditions and buying yourself a lot of time to take them out. And the poison, very good inside a mortar as well. And yeah, this is the #1 deck right now, so not only is it the best mortar deck, it's the #1 deck on Path of Legends right now, as you can see. And I already climbed up quite a bit since last video. I'm already really close to League 9. We're definitely going to be able to reach it this video, and then hopefully in my next video we can push into Ultimate Champion. If you guys want to support me, code Boss in any Supercell game. Alright guys, so here we go. We found our first match here against Alex, and I actually wanted to ask you guys real quick, because I was thinking about the intro and how usually when I record intros there, or before I get into the games, it's usually roughly a minute where I'm talking about the deck a little bit and my rank on ladder or whatever I'm going to be doing. But I wanted to ask, and I saw a couple comments on this. Some people prefer if I were to just go right into the games, and so I wanted to get a lot of people's opinion on that. Do you guys like the intros I have, or would you prefer it if they were a little bit more brief? Maybe perhaps if they were only 30 seconds or even only 20 seconds and then I got into the games immediately. Like, I want to kind of hear the general, I don't know, like, consensus on that, whether, you know, people prefer them or if I should, yeah, make them shorter. And I don't mind either way. I just want to do what, you know, you guys watching prefer. Because I know for a while I've kind of done these, type of, like, intros as they are now, but it probably wouldn't hurt switching it up a little bit. I'm not talking about going back to the editing like I used to do for them. I remember I got like an editor at one point. I'm not even talking about that. I wouldn't, you know, edit them at all. It would just be essentially I wouldn't just, well, talk as much at the beginning before going in games. Anyway, just want to know your guys' opinion, but it looks like we're in an RG match here, so this is going to be, yeah, pretty interesting matchup for sure. I don't even know who has matchup. It's probably one that could like go either way. It really depends on whether he's got a lightning or a fireball. I feel like if he has a fireball, this matchup is good for us. If he's got a lightning, it's a bit harder because the lightning is pretty solid against the mortar, as I'm sure some of you guys know. I'm gonna go for a mortar here. I probably should have been a little bit more aggressive with the mortars and played some earlier in the match, but I guess that's okay. So we're just going to go for a log here, and a Valkyrie should be able to take care of that RG quite easily. I'm just going to go poison because it'll deal a good amount of damage to that Phoenix, allowing us to easily take it out, as well as damage that Ghost actually, so a pretty good poison I think. I'm just going to go Skellies. I don't want him to get chip damage on the tower. I might as well avoid it for an even trade if I can. I'll go for a mortar here. Why not? He'll just go RG for sure. Or actually, he's going to do that. That's a good poison value for me because we're going to be able to damage the Ghost a little bit, kill the Fisherman, and also get some chip damage on the tower. Quite valuable. Ice Spirit here to freeze the RG. Send in the Miner. Valk might even tank for it. Yeah, nice, it does. So really good stuff here. We're making a pretty good dent in his tower, and at this point we pretty much just have to play defense because we already got well over enough damage on his tower. I'm going to go for a defensive mortar. Whenever they go RG in the back, you have to defensive mortar. Don't go for an offensive one, because what will happen is you won't be able to defend the next RG they play, and you'll be overwhelmed by an RG in one lane and an RG in the other. So really make sure that you get a defensive mortar down as quick as you can when they do go for that RG, because as you can see, by doing that I was able to defend that one so easily, and now I'm back to another because I went for a defensive one. He is going to have a fireball, which is very good for me. This is quite a good matchup now that I know he's got a fireball instead of a lightning, because what this essentially means is I don't have to space out my Phoenix and my mortar. I can play them as close to each other as I want, and it doesn't really matter that much because a fireball doesn't even get close to taking out a Phoenix, whereas a lightning would. And, you know, it's so easy, too, for them to, like, lightning the mortar, the tower, the Phoenix, and everything, just because of that, you know, pretty massive radius, as I was talking about. So, yeah, really easy defense there. Valk on top of the Ghost. He's probably going to go for, yeah, there's the RG. We're just going to go for an Ice Spirit. And then get a Phoenix here. And yeah, even like if he gets some damage on the left lane here, it doesn't even matter because as you can see on the right lane, he already got a lot. So I'm even going to purposely take an RG hit there, even though I could have prevented it. It wasn't even necessary. Mortar's locked on the tower, so this is for sure going to be GG. Unless he somehow like takes my whole tower, but there's no way for him to... I was going to say, yeah, reset the mortar, so yeah, that's going to be GG. It got a little, I guess, dicey there at the end. Like, if that mortar didn't take his tower, it would have been close, but Ice Spirit would have froze the RG, and we would have been able to defend some mortar, so we would have been fine. So we're 1 win away from Royal Champion. League 9, let's try to get it right here. So we found a game against Jean Carlo. We got Minor. We could start with Minor. First place should be... Okay, well that just makes things pretty easy for us. Somehow, some way I missed the Minor, though, with that log. It was kind of bad. I guess it's fine, though. There was a pretty massive overcommitment on his end, so even though he got a damage lead, I think it's not really that big of a deal, because we're up Elixir, so we'll send in our own Minor here. He's got a Monk, so I think we can go for a Phoenix, and then Skeletons if we need to. The nice thing about this deck is the Monk doesn't really get too much value against it, because we don't really have like a ranged attacker. Like, for example, I was talking about good substitutes for the Phoenix is like the Archer Queen and the Musk, but keep in mind if you use those cards, the Monk is so good against them, and the Monk is everywhere. So he's going to go for a Fireball. He doesn't hit the Phoenix. That might have been on purpose, because this way the egg doesn't hatch on my side of the map, but... Either way, that Mortar's getting a ton of damage, might even get another shot. Barely doesn't. I think it was like a 1/10 of a second away from getting another. Really, really close. I'm going to have to log this lane because it's where the Minor is. So even though he's going to get some in the other lane, I'm just going to have to take the damage. Doesn't matter because he has more damage in the left lane. So never be afraid of taking split lane damage, as I like to call it, because... It doesn't really benefit them in any way or give them an advantage. So, okay, he's going to go Monk. I'm thinking we just cycle Ice Spirit in the back. Maybe Valk should be fine. Ooh, I'll have to poison this just in case. Deals some great damage, and it's actually not even a bad poison. Like, it's quite valuable. Oh, nice, and we get a massive, massive log value. I'm going to go for a Mortar here, and then I'm going to go for a Prediction Valkyrie on the cannon. We ended up getting it. That's really nice. We might get one Mortar shot, which is pretty good. There was someone who once said that even just getting a Mortar, like a singular Mortar connection, makes the Mortar worthwhile, and it looks like we actually got two. Could be wrong, but yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna be in the back. So yeah, the egg is gonna hatch, but luckily the second one's gonna be easy to stop. So nice. We're doing okay. Yeah, he went for a prediction. All right, I'm actually... Oh, nice. He just screwed up. I'm gonna be really aggressive right now because he just messed up pretty badly. So I went Minor Poison super aggressively. When you're up Elixir, it's fine to be kind of aggressive, even though this is kind of a chip cycle deck. You can go all out. I knew he mirrored, so that's why I got the Valk down on that. And then once again, I'm going to hit him up with another Minor Poison because he was super aggressive, and I'm very confident I'll be able to defend easily. And he even played a Goblin Gang right into the Poison, so that just kind of helped me out. Okay, the egg is definitely going to hatch because of the Ice Spirit. And then we'll hit him up with another Mortar here. I'm going to Skeletons just in case, yeah, that he did play Cannon. As I anticipated, Log rolling in. He doesn't play a Goblin Gang into it, but it prevented him from playing it. So the Mortar, nothing stopping it. And it gets one more shot, and that's going to be GG. Pretty good matchup. Very interesting deck on his end, actually. a strange type of minor Phoenix deck. Like, it has Mirror. It just didn't make sense. It looked like a lot of random cards together. There's a deck kind of similar to that, except it has Bomb Tower in it, but it also doesn't have arrows. Either way, we get to League 9. I'm going to go ahead and claim that. And yeah, we're going to continue. I mean, we only played a couple games so far, so... Alright, found our next game here against Noir. Maybe that's how you pronounce it? I don't know. Who cares? I guess we'll just go for a mortar. So he's gonna let it lock on. Hello, sir. What are you doing? Fisherman. So maybe he's got RG. He does have a bar barrel though, so it's probably different variation. I didn't think that fisherman. I probably should have gone for a log on it. It actually got quite a lot of damage, surprisingly. Yeah, it's probably RG. It's running kind of like a... Well, I guess RG is always kind of control. But yeah, he's running a Zappies variation. Likely he's got maybe Skeleton King. Maybe he's using like that Tombstone variation. Ice Spirit should be enough to prevent the RG from getting a single shot. So yeah, an okay start to this game. So now we're against a different RG deck. We were against an RG Ghost deck. Now we're against a RG Zappy deck. The RG Zappy deck, I think, is actually an even better matchup for us than the RG Ghost one, because our Poison gets a whole lot of value against his Mother Witch and the Zappies. It's so good against it. He does have a Monk, though, so we gotta watch out for that. The Monk does okay against the Mortar, but it's not, like, amazing or anything. It's not as good as against the Mortar as it is against, like, a Cannon or something. I guess I'm just gonna Poison for Tower Chip, why not? And that was a bad ability, because it didn't even... It, like, kind of died in the process. Hopefully we can defend this. That was kind of bad that his egg hatched for the Phoenix, but I think we're okay. Yeah, we're fine. I was a little worried, but we're okay. I will have to go for a Valkyrie, though, to, yeah, redirect that Fisherman on it. And then after this, I think we can for sure go for a Mortar. So this is going to be a nice counter push, because we have a Valkyrie and a Phoenix with it, so it's hard for him to go for an RG. And as you can see, he didn't even go for it. Okay, cool. His egg didn't turn into a Phoenix. That's really good. Ooh, nice. He had to spend so much just to prevent that Mortar from getting on the tower. I'm going to pressure, even though defensive Mortar is usually good. Going same lane as them is fine. You just don't want to go in the opposite lane. That Mortar shell got a lot of value. That one kind of did too. Wow, yeah, we're completely fine. The defense is so strong against his RG. Definitely gotta poison that. That was a very bad Mother Witch. I should have known that was gonna get a shot. I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, this is probably worth poisoning. Why not? Oh, nice. I was just about to play Skeletons. I'm so glad I didn't. That would have been horrible. Alright, that's going to be GG. So another nice win here against RG. He had an under-leveled Monk and Phoenix. I'm not sure if that would have changed the outcome of the game, though. I mean, I guess it's possible, but we won by a pretty hefty amount. I feel like if we only won by 500, then it probably would have made a difference, but I feel like we probably would have won anyway. And I didn't even play that perfectly. There were, like, definitely a few mistakes I made that game, but those types of matchups, you don't even have to play perfect to win. I know a lot of people think like cycle decks, you can't really make any mistakes. And, you know, you have to play perfect, but that's not really the case at all. Cycle decks, just like heavier decks, have matchups, and if it's a pretty favorable matchup, you don't really need to play perfect, and you can still win by a pretty good margin. So we'll go Phoenix here in the back for his own. Hopefully our tower helps out against it, against his. We'll go for a defensive miner here. We could get a heals, or not a heal spirit, an ice spirit to freeze both. That would be good. We do that. And I'll go for a mortar here. Ooh, bomb tower. Okay, so, ooh, wow, he poisoned that. That was unexpected. I did not think he'd have to go for a poison on that. So we can cycle a Phoenix, and maybe we'll apply a little bit of pressure here. I don't know. He's got a monk. I'm pretty much certain he has a monk. So let's go Valkyrie here. Unless he's using a different deck than what I thought it was. Okay, yeah, there it is. Oh, I thought he was gonna think I was gonna log. That's why I didn't play it. You saw he used the ability, but it ended up dying in the process. We're just gonna go Skeletons here. That was a really bad miner because, well, it was kind of an overcommitment at the wrong time. We can actually go Mortar here. It's highly unlikely he's going to go for a bomb tower on the Mortar when a Phoenix is down. I'm doing this just to get the Mortar on the tower ASAP. And yeah, sure enough, he doesn't have time to, what is he doing? He played that so late. Yeah, I think he was just low on Elixir. So we pretty much already won. I'm going to go for a prediction log. Maybe we could hit, like, I decided to go for a Phoenix. Well, that was a good play on his end, but it doesn't even matter anyway. Well, the reason why I said it was good is because he didn't go Goblin Gang. Which he would have lost the game right then and there if he did. But anyway, we got a prediction poison down on the Goblin Gang. Just increasing our lead more and more. In minor cycle versus minor cycle matches, it's pretty nice having Mortar because it actually damages the tower, whereas the bomb tower is just a defensive card. And that's why the Mortar is a way better building than the bomb tower, because it's they're both for Elixir, and in some cases the Mortar can serve or get just as much value on defense as the bomb tower. Of course, there's some things like Royal Hogs where you're going to want to have the bomb tower, but for things like an E-Giant, let's say, for example, or I'm trying to think of a couple other things, like E-Giant, which, by the way, there's a good amount of this meta. And I'm trying to think if there's any other good ones. That's the main one, but then there's a lot of others where it doesn't make a massive difference. Because, for example, like lightning still deals a lot of damage to both structures, if that makes sense. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with this, but I think all I was trying to explain is why the Mortar's an incredible building. Anyway, we're cruising along here in League 8. And no, I'm not undefeated. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did, because I know in the couple videos before, I think you guys might be curious, I'm still undefeated. Those of you who saw the last video and the one before this, I did end up losing a couple times. So sadly, we don't have that 100% win rate. When I lost, it was, I think, in League 7. Maybe League 8 earlier in it, too. Anyway, this will probably be our last game of the video here. We're against Ahmed Nazar. So let's try to at least, even though we're not undefeated, this video, try to be right. Okay, so very, very aggressive start by this guy. He's going to get some damage. Sadly, there's not really anything I can do to avoid that because I just simply don't have anything to play on the Mortar. But this counter push is going to be really good, at least I'd assume. Like, he might be able to defend it, but he's going to have to spend so much to do so. And actually, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lock. Yeah, nice, we do. And the Valk, I think, tanks for it. Yes, let's go. Oh, sadly, his Phoenix is going to... But look at this, we're going to take the lead. We took the lead. Let's go. That's what we like to see. An amazing position right now. That was a pretty bad minor, I think. Not a big reason why. It was just a little bit... Well, it was just way too aggressive. So we can hit him up with a mortar here, and I don't even know what he's going to do. Horrible, horrible play. Horrible Goblin Gang. By the way, we do have a good matchup, because, let me tell you this. What did he just do? He played a Scar Me into a... Did he forget about the death damage? Buddy, 2 mistakes in a row. Bro's fumbling his defense against a mortar. That is awkward, to say the least. Oh my god. That was awkward to witness, even on my end, and I'm the opponent. Yeah, anyway, I was gonna say pretty much these mortar bait decks with Skelly King, you always have matchup against if you're using a mortar deck with Valkyrie, pretty much every time. Valkyrie's one of the only cards in the whole game that pretty much counters the Skeleton King. There isn't really another card that does it for an even trade except the Valkyrie. There are some other things, of course, like Bowler does solid against it, but that's a 5 elixir investment, and even the Bowler, when the Skelly King like ability is used, it doesn't do amazing against it. So that's why it's such a convenience having the Valkyrie in the mortar versus mortar match. This guy's playing so badly. This is why I'm saying, like, and of course, I'm not trying to be like too toxic to this guy, but the point I'm making is, I think this season there's going to be so many people, so many of you guys watching who are going to be able to reach Ultimate Champion. It's a full 30-day season, and I've said this before in videos, but it's just to kind of give you guys like confidence that you can make it. There were so many people to make it to Ultimate Champion last season in just the 2-week season who made it, and they only had like a 30% win rate. And you might be wondering, how the heck is it possible to make it into Ultimate Champion with a negative win rate? So I'm going to explain this briefly. I mean, it's probably obvious to some of you guys, but for those of you who isn't, do you see how there's a golden step here? So when you lose a game, you can't drop into a lower league. It literally doesn't let you. And what this is, obviously they go away when you advance in the next league, but there's always going to be one in every league. Like, this is literally the last league before Ultimate Champion, and you get pretty much like a saving grace. You get a second chance, or whatever you like to call it. So no matter how bad you're tilted, you can't drop out of this league, and you're just 10 games away from reaching Ultimate Champion. So it gives you a lot of time for like trial and error. I mean, as in like finding out what deck is good. I don't know if this would be possible to do, like making a specific video on like how to reach Ultimate Champion or something like that. Like I just do a guide. I don't know how I'd even go about making that, but I truly believe like anyone who wants to reach Ultimate Champion, assuming you have a deck that's maxed, is probably going to be capable of doing it. That's just my opinion. Like, if you like work hard and kind of, at least, you know, you're putting in the effort, right? Like learning how to play the meta, and you keep trying, have the right mindset, I think like everyone can reach it. So I guess that's good for you guys who really want to, you know, get the emote and of course compete in the ranked mode afterwards. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Make sure to like it if you did enjoy the video. Subscribe if you guys are not subscribed already. Hopefully in the next video I'll be an Ultimate Champion. Maybe I'll save the last couple games like for the video so I actually push into Ultimate Champion and you guys can kind of see what win rate I get live, which might be kind of cool. But yeah, thank you again. Until next time, guys. I forgot if I said subscribe, like the video. If I already did, then whatever. Just say it again. Why not?